Ah, what a day. Another another day, another dollar. How does that always happen? Oh, I gotta get that pin in there. Just won't go in. Come on. Yeah, maybe that'll hold. Can you guys hear me with the AirPods hooked up? I don't know if that works with the live. Someone could type in the chat there. Let me know if the AirPods work on here as well, or if I need to get like a different mic hooked up on it. Or maybe I'm just talking to myself. So we're clearing out property line today so we can make room for our deer fence. We did get some rain, but it really doesn't look like it. Just judging by the dust, it couldn't have been that much. Get that straightened up. Is that the window making that noise? How's everybody doing today? Julius, Jake, my guy, what's going on? Thanks for finally answering. I wasn't sure how it was going to work with the AirPods. Last time I had some $20 TikTok mics, and I'm not sure that worked out too well. You guys are going to want to come with me to the game. My wife wants me to go to a soccer game, sorry, not a soccer. She wants me to go to a elementary school basketball game. Not for our own kid, for one of her students at school, which is a wild thought to me. Why I would want to do that, but she said one of the students really wants her to go, so I guess maybe we should make an appearance. And it's probably some brownie points for the wife. What's Jake doing today? You sitting in the tractor, or are you still pulling out trees? It's a big old tree. Slowly but surely. That might be a little too off balance. Watch out for the cherry trees. Oh man, almost broke one. We can't be having that. She was applying after the cherry tree removal. Nice. How many acres did you take out? Just probably pulling up a lot of roots, I would imagine. Roots? Is it roots or roots? Or does it depend on where you're from? Because I say roots. but it's probably not that. Well, it's probably not. It's just not, that's just how I say it. Oh, so after I taking out some big pine trees today, cleaning up a property line. So after I take those out, I gotta kind of sift through the pile or the hole and try and pull some of the old roots out because I don't want to leave all those in there. See, look at all those goodies just hanging out. There's gonna be a bunch in here. I could probably try and pull through this a little bit. Yeah. 150 acres this year. That's quite a bit of acreage to lose. Oh no, it's too dusty. I got raindrops on the windshield. It's just gonna make everything muddy. We'll spin the other way. Try to avoid the wind. Except it's literally dusty everywhere. And our old girl here, the old Hitachi, we don't have a wiper, and we're missing one of the windows in the door. So, of course, there's no hiding from the rain or dust. And that's dusty. Can't even see what I'm doing. That's crazy. I need to move away from it. Wow, it's annoying. Try and keep the dust down to a minimum here. Might even have to give it a little bit of a shake or let it sit for a minute. That's a weird sound. I think it's my AirPods. Funny. I got this, I got the new AirPods and it sounds like it's automatically adjusting to the sound, so the sound's coming in and out. First world problems, I guess, huh? Tough times. Tough times on the farm. Holy wind. I'm not sure I like that. Maybe I should get rid of that. Too fancy. I don't need the auto adjusting AirPods. Does anyone know if there's a way to turn that off? I kind of just want to be able to hear the machine a little bit. Yes, they have auto volume, so you don't need to damage your ears. Hey, what an idea. Somebody was thinking. An Apple. There's a lot of little roots here. It just does it as I turn around. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of nice. I do have the AirPod Pros. The other ones I tried and they just hurt my eardrums. The plastic, they're just not very comfortable. Something about the Pros with their other earpieces in addition to it seem to be making it a little bit better. Get all the rips in there. If you could tell, I may have a little bit gone onto the neighbor's property there. Mine are disabled. Yeah, well, I don't do it. Ah, there's just probably a setting. I literally just got them. like last weekend. Not sure how I feel about it. How's everybody doing today? Where are you all watching from? It's the people from Norway the last time we did this. So right now we're just trying to scoop the roots, and the branches up slowly but surely. Try and clean everything up that we can as much as we can so we don't have to come back out and pick it by hand. But when you're using a machine like this, you're never going to get all of it. So we're just going to do the best as we can and not try and waste too much time because we will come back and smooth it up, and we'll probably have some guys come back out and pick it with their hands, get all of the littler stuff. There was a rock there, but I literally just crushed the shit out of it. Just fishing around in the sand. See what we got in here. Looks like we're doing a half decent job here getting all these roots out. Just a lot of little tiny stuff, which not much I can do about with this thing. But I don't want to get too far ahead because I do have to start ripping out another tree right next to me. And all of this work I'm doing to try and get all this stuff is just going to get more pine tree dumped right on top of it here in 1 minute. I think we'll grab this. We'll drive it back over here. All right. So if you guys can see let's swing back this way. You see the pink property stake here. Obviously don't want to touch or put anything on that side. But this tree right here has to go, and a couple behind it. So that's what our goal is going to be here today. We'll pull some of this back in. That's on our property. And I'm not going to be too worried about getting those roots out right now because they are going to be toppled by a bunch of these. Whoa, look at this. Machine's rocking on a hill. We gotta get on the old flat ground here. And I don't like having all the little branches. So we're just gonna go skin all that. Those can just be a pain in the butt and get in the way. So we'll swang over here. We'll put those down. That one's stuck up there. There it goes. We got a couple more. Down, 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 down. And we'll clean that up. Put those in the stack. Usually we have another operator here with our loader that takes all these scraps away so they're not in my way, so I have plenty of room to work, but he's out getting some posts for our high density apple orchard and our fencing that we needed. About 500 concurrent viewers. Nice. I think that might be a record for viewers at one time. Thanks everyone for stopping in if you're here. That's pretty cool. And as soon as I say that, 50 drop off. Too funny? Too funny. All right, who's ready? So this tree behind the bucket got to come out, but we got to get next to it. And what I like to do is pull and scratch around the ground a couple times next to it so we can get the roots loosened up so we can see where the main roots are that are going to be challenging or holding the tree up as much. So we'll kind of pull topsoil back here on top. That should be pretty clean. So we'll set that down right here, not too far away, because we're going to put that back in the hole later. So I can tell just by what's pulling on it that there is something there, and there it was. But that is nothing compared to the big roots that should be here. So we'll get repositioned a little bit. And what I'm going to do is push on the tree a touch just to see where they are. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but there's one right here and one right over there. And so I can see where I need to dig in order to get this tree to move. So we're going to just slowly try and peel away the topsoil. Set that there. I can already see we pulled through one big root. So it's kind of doing a 360 around it until we get, see, that's nice and loose. So I broke that one up. Just a little bit of dirt in the bucket there. We'll get rid of that. Yikes, that was a little rough. But I don't want to cross the property line, so we got to be careful about where we stick the bucket because there are some Karens out here. Poor tree, wrong place at the wrong time. That's right. Bad day to be a pine tree on the property line. And somebody wrote something in a different language that I do not know. I do speak Spanish, but it is not in Spanish. Yeah, there's a couple trees here that are in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were probably doing fine for a lot of years, but not anymore. Yeah, see, there's going to be a bunch of roots in that one. All right, so we'll get a little bit closer here and we'll try and pull it down. See if I can even get underneath it. And I might be able to just lift and pull. Oh, it's lifting the whole machine up. Okay, we're going to have to try a different approach. We're going to have to try and scoot a little closer. See if I can control it and push it. Oh, it's just raining pine needles. All right, we'll see if I can control it as it goes down. It really wants to go the other way. That's unfortunate. I might have to get even. I might have to go down and get some more. There we go. Now we're making some progress here, folks. Jeez, I'm trying to twist. But having the machine sideways like this over the tracks is never good. It has no weight to help it. I'd rather have it with the idlers facing so that I have a little more weight to. Oh, she wants to go. We might have to get higher up on the tree. Here we go, folks. We don't want to hit any cherry trees, hopefully. Oh, it's stuck halfway up, but it's in the exact position we want it. We'll push it a little more. Timber. And it's down. What kind of soil is that? It's like flowing water. Yeah, it's we have pretty sandy soil up here where we're at, but also we haven't had rain in like, oh gosh, it's been probably like 2 months. So that would be why our soil is, or why it looks like it's just so dusty. Actually, we got to back up here. Gold Rush is RIP. Yeah, this one's down. But now we got to start the cleanup process. We want to lift this tree up here, and we'll drop it a couple times just to get the root ball cleaned up, because we don't want to have that much dirt in it, especially when we go to burn it. But what I can tell already is that this tree is way too long. So I want to I'm going to pick up the whole tree. We're going to move it back a little bit. And I'm going to try and get to the top and try and bust a chunk of it off so that it's not nearly as long, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with it. Just look at all those fall colors. Even the cherry trees are changing colors. Unless you're like my buddy Jake's farm, where they lost all their leaves on their organic cherries a couple months ago. LOL. RIP? If he's still in here, who knows? I'll probably get a text with the middle finger. Look at that. It's like a top half of a Christmas tree. So we'll go ahead and put that in the old stack over here. So that tree's really not that. We didn't make it that much shorter, but we made it short enough that I should be able to maneuver it. This is going to be some basic physics here. I need to pick it up closer to the root ball in order to move it. So we'll back it up here. I got some rocks on the ground that I placed that I need to watch out, and a tree trunk. Ooh, we're a little tippy. I may have been over the weight limit for how far I was extended there. Clearly. There it is. There is the black middle finger emoji for the comment about organic cherries. Knew that was coming. Now I got to just pick up some of these scraps. This is the most boring part of this. I like to rip the trees out more than spend all the time cleaning, especially when the wind blows all the dirt right back in your face. I should be more careful when I'm turning around, because it kind of looks like I might shove a stick right through the radiator, which is going to be that's going to be a big, I'm going to get in trouble for that. So we're gonna bounce around a little bit. Looks like we have one more big tree to fell here on this side. I'm still not far away from that tree now. All right, we'll try now. We'll get the phone straightened back up. If anyone has any good suction to the window phone cases, I have a $10 gas station special that I saw when I was buying some pizza the other day. And it's working out much better than the one I had. If anyone was here, what was it, Thursday? Maybe Friday? when I was doing this last time, and it was falling down, falling off. If you've been sticking around for at least the first half hour, don't forget and consider subscribing. This is not what I do every single day. I hang out. This is more of a side project for us farming. I farm apples and cherries, and I get to do some fun stuff like this in the fall when we have some other types of jobs to do. This is what we're cleaning out property lines to make room for a deer fence as we are planting some cherry orchard. So 80 acres of cherries we're planting later this fall. So this is preparations for a deer fence. And I go into some more high depth explanation of that in my long form content on last week's video. If you want to know more about why and what we're doing here with this project, you can check that out. So this is kind of close to the property line that I was trying to avoid. Luckily, I think we're safe. I'm going to clean this up. Hold all this. I didn't get as much there as I thought I was gonna, but it looks like a dump site where they burn and waste, like ash. That's true. It it is incredibly dry. It's it's starting to become a bit of a problem because it's not usually that we are this dry this time of the year. It's usually one of our probably the second most moisture filled part of the year. But for some reason, all this fall has just been absolutely just dry. Probably won't see another drought like this time of the year. And whoa, whoops, in probably like I don't know, 10 plus years. Maybe probably even longer. It's never been this dry as far as I can remember. But look at the color. Oh, the soil, yeah, it's very sandy here. The soil is very sandy. But that is common in this area. Almost everyone has very light soils, except for we have a couple farms, a couple hundred acres on some high ground that's like so extremely wet. You can even find water on it right now. But that's common though. We know that. There's like a whole ridge, and that whole ridge is notorious for having heavy soil. But it also some of our best producing cherry lands. Wow, I don't think that camera can be shakier when we drive around. Holy. Okay, now we're gonna sift through this pile and sift through the pile of ash. Ash. I'm gonna start calling it ash now because Terry says that we have ash here and not soil. It does look a little bit like ash though, that's for sure. So to try and make things more efficient, I'm just gonna make a little stack there of the stuff that I find, so I don't have to do any full turns unnecessarily. Didn't see much there. Probably get the thumb out of the way so we can all see better what's in there. So some stuff here, but I missed it. Looks like I see it there. We even got some precipitation here this morning, but it just not going to be enough to make a difference here. That is for sure. Find out through the forest department if there was a wildfire in this area in the last 20 years. I haven't really heard of that because it's so. We never have a problem with precipitation, so I wouldn't be surprised if there hasn't been there's definitely no forest fires in northern Michigan. But you can feel free to look it up yourself because I'm in the middle of working. This farm is in the Traverse City area. Could be a burial site, someone says. I have never pulled up anything like that. But this area there's a couple Indian tribes in the area, and um, been here a long time. I've heard of some other people digging on some old Indian ground after it was bought and sold, putting in barns, and they've come across some interesting things. Toby, welcome back. Toby actually works for the fire department. He could probably tell us. Someone's asking if we've had any wildfires in the area, Traverse City area, in the last 20 years. I said I didn't think so, but it looks like some new growth around there. New growth of what? This is behind me is a 20-year-old orchard, and these pine trees are much older than that, I'd imagine. If you agree with Trump 2024, I will subscribe. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely agree with that. I'm not going to talk much about politics here, but I am supporting Trump here in the next 2 weeks myself. Everyone's entitled to whatever they like, but me, myself, I'm a Trump 2024 guy, just like Mason. You subscribed and liked. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Most farmers are for Trump, as Trump said. No one's done more for the farming community than Donald Trump. He was in Detroit here in Michigan and said that he wants to make farming what it used to be. He wants to make farming great again. Farming was great under the Trump administration, but it was slowed down a bit. Around here, we've had nothing. Had one big fire. Had any big fires around the Kuwait area? Yeah, like I said, I really don't think there's been any sort of massive fire concern around here. And that's just because of the amount that we get. What state is this? This is Michigan. This is northern Michigan. In Michigan, we do this cool thing where if you you put your left hand up and you look at the back of your left hand, and if you can see where your pinky touches your ring finger at the top, that's where about-ish we are located. Michigan's one of those cool state where we use our hand as a map to explain to somebody where we're from. Pine trees look to be 15, 20 year. It doesn't take long for new growth to take a hold, especially if the trees are well planted. Yes, and a lot of these, like I said, there's a bunch that are on the property line. So whoever owned this land where the orchard's at ahead of time wanted to have, some privacy. It looks like, but the pine trees can be a bit of a pain in the butt on they have a tendency to fall over, kind of snap off, especially when they get older. So we're just kind of cleaning up ones that are too close to the property line because we like to fence all the way up to the property line because we don't want to give away land. And yes, pine trees can grow very fast. I mean, they're probably 2 foot wide at the base of the trunk. Probably 2 foot. So if you guys could tell, let's go right under the thumb. There's a maple tree right behind us here. And when we started, we were at the bottom of that hill. They can see there's some water back there. We started there and we're making our way up the hill and down and around. And then we're gonna have to drive across the field a little bit to get to this next location that we're gonna be starting to pull some trees up from. So what I don't know is if that second little tree is on the line or how much. Well, well, if you have something to add to the stream, Mason, I read comments and stuff. Okay, we have to go look at what's on the property line there to see what we have to do, or what I should be taking out and what I shouldn't be. So this is our machine I'm using. It's a Hitachi 160. That's what we use. So you can see this property line by my truck. We're trying to keep a straight line, obviously, with that. Here's the next stake. So what I'm trying to find out is, see, I knew it. This one is right on the line, which is going to be interesting. This looks like some sort of, it's not a maple. Almost looks like a black walnut, which unfortunately those are nice trees to keep. They're worth some money when they grow big and straight. That's a bummer. Do we have a raker for the front? We have a front end loader with a rake. And that front end loader has a big root rake on it. And it can go through and pull most of that up, but we don't have it out here right now. It's unloading posts. So I'm just trying to thumb through it. See, that tree was right on the line, so I had to leave that one. Black walnut is good firewood, really. I've heard that it's one of the most expensive woods. Or maybe it's just walnut. Oh, I think it's going to be on the line. I think I got to leave it. This one right here. I think that one's got to stay. I can get that one, and I can get that big, just for some reference. There's the top of our machine. And that's the size of the trees we're dealing with here. There's the other two. So we'll go back in and work on taking that guy out. And then looks like we just need to kind of scrape up from where that open spot's at, right to where we're at. So we'll climb back up. Get the phone placed back in there. Damn, I always love that tree. And Nate Lee. I've listened to the Rubbin' One Out song like 400 times. Song is too funny. I think it's almost as funny as the what was the other one? Dick Down in Dallas. That was a good song too. All right, so the first step, like I did on the last tree, we'll get in here and we'll knock those branches down. I should just be able to pull this whole tree up. I feel like I'm just touched too far away. But this little pine tree just came out with these. But it is in the neighbor's property, so I don't want to mess up the tree line too much. Because you never know when you have a neighbor, a Karen for a neighbor that just wants to, or just wants to cause problems for no reason, and there isn't really a problem. So we're just gonna come back and set that down there. No, this is an old machine. We do not have a tree cutter. Terry Terry said, "Too bad you don't have a tree cutter blade on that machine." No, the old girl here is about as basic as it gets. The nice part is that it has a hydraulic thumb, which is pretty much a must for what I'm doing. If you can't tell, constantly picking stuff up. The hydraulic thumb is a massive plus. Yeah, so we love that. Whoop. My phone keeps hitting me when I drive. Keeps bumping the phone holder. Okay, let's do this. I like to get behind the tree because I like to push it when I fell it. Ooh, yeah. To the burn I shall go. Okay, I think we're sitting pretty here, right where we should be. I might be a touch too close. All right, we'll push on the tree a touch just to see where the main roots are. I see two on each side, should be easy to grab from here. Now I feel like I'm too far away. The struggle never ends. What is this reflection? Oh, my flashlight's on. Nobody wanted to tell me. No, it's not my fault. Yeah, it was. Okay. No guts, no glory. Push, push. No sacrifice, no victory. You can see, you can hear it. The machine's struggling. And we just pulled up a big chunk. You can feel it. Oh yeah, you can see it there on the left side. That it actually ripped up and pulled the bark right off the side right up. So that tells me is we have the first main root down, but I want to put that somewhere else because I don't want that to get accidentally buried. Look for gold. There might be some gold. You never know. I'll put that here for now. Oh man, what's everyone doing on the Tuesday besides watching me pull some trees out? Where'd the other one go? It's over here on the side. I wonder if the trees are kind of intertwined here. I wouldn't be surprised if when I take this pine tree out, it's not going to mess up this black walnut tree to the left of the machine. It left it right behind the bucket right now. So it looks like we got the other root, but it's stuck on the bucket now. Let's see underneath it. Yep, she's stuck a little bit. So we'll try and. Wow, it really doesn't want to come off. Oh, there it goes. It's Wednesday, Pally. Yeah, well, so does that mean you're working or are you just relaxing or what? Wow, this one's going to be a pain. I just don't see how this comes out without messing up with that tree on the side. That's for sure. Is there vines growing up that tree? Absolutely. There's all kinds of viney stuff that have been growing up and down this tree line. Almost every one of these trees I pull out has something that's attached way up on these trees. Just hanging. That will kill the tree. The vines? The vines are me pulling or me ripping it out of the ground because yes, that will do that. All right, we're gonna try and push it here. I'm gonna get the thumb out of the way so I can see. Okay, let's see. That's going the wrong way though. We don't want it to go that way. We want it to go to the right. The problem is it's not our property over there, so I kind of got to sneak in underneath it, see if I can pull, if I can, if I can kind of twist it as it falls. Even when I curl the bucket, pull, lift, it doesn't want to go yet. Vines will kill the tree. Well, yes, they will. Choke it out. Okay, let's see if I can get it to spin. No, it does not want to spin. It just wants to go straight backward. Which that's going to be the dilemma. This might not be how the professionals get their trees out, but okay, see, now we got some movement. You think it's going to twist now? I don't want to take the leaner, though, because it's on the property line. That's the problem, my friend. We might get away without taking that leaner. It wants to go. Oh, no, it's gonna let go. Wow, you see how much the tree twists? Why does it keep spinning my phone? Okay, come on now. Maybe I can get behind it a little more. All right, now we're talking. Okay, I think I've dislodged it enough that I can. That's not what I wanted to do. Should be able to get up to the top of it and push it over. Wow, this thing is putting up a. Yeah, it's. I'd say so. I'd say the roots are tangled because it is putting up a fight. Oh wait, here she goes, folks. All right, one more little push. And I didn't even hit any of the cherry trees. What a nice surprise. And I didn't take the leaner. Everything went according to plan. So that's nice. We did rotate the machine a touch by pulling on it funky. So we're going to spin the tracks back around. I'm going to go up here like I was doing earlier and try and snap the top of the tree off. Just to make it shorter, more manageable to carry around. There it went. But every time I move it now, it wants to go into the cherry trees, but we don't want to break those. Come on now. It's like wrestling. This thing's like wrestling a bear. Wow. See if I can just pull on the top and try and peel it straight back. Okay, it's just folding like a pancake, but won't break off. That is impressive. That is impressive. That seems to be a lot of green. I can't believe that didn't just snap off. Wow. Well, I guess we can keep moving it so I can get back to it. Just look at the root ball on that thing. Yes, look at that. No wonder why. Look at all those roots on the top. That all came from the side that was holding on the most. All right, where's the top half? I can't see it. There's all the branches. There it is. It did break. This is moving the whole tree. I don't want to move the whole tree, please. I just like to move the top. I think I've got it. Looks like it. We'll set that down. Man, that is a huge root ball. You're right. No wonder why I was having such a hard time getting that one out. Clearly, because those roots were so big. But you'd expect that out of one of these pine trees. Pine trees can have some massive root balls. But looks like I won again. And to answer your question earlier about the hydraulic leak I had last week that caused me to have to shut this job down, was a metal fitting had a crack in a weld. which is crazy. So we had to have that fixed and taken care of before we could continue, which that got fixed this morning, and now we're back to work. I'm from Indonesia. Wow, that's a long way. This is happening in the United States and Michigan, but Indonesia, that is a long trip. What time is it there? Got to be what, middle of the night? I don't know. Maybe that leader that we were talking about earlier is on my side of the property. I just don't know. It'll be easier to see once I get all the other shit out. It could be. It might not be. Yes, it is. Glad you're back onto it. Yes, it's good to be back. So, what do you guys think about the YouTube live streaming? How did you find the video? Did you come across it in the shorts? Does it show up in the shorts feed, or how did you go find this? 1:33 a.m. 12 hours ahead of us. Wow. Yeah, here it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Is this just one of those videos that you were scrolling, waiting to fall asleep, and you just came across, and now you're listening to a 30-year-old farmer pulling trees out? Make sure there's nothing behind me before I start turning around. Get this thumb up so I can kind of pull these branches in. Terry is in Alabama. Oh, so you answered the Indonesia question. But if you're from Alabama, that's got to be the same. Or is Alabama over enough to be in Central Time Zone? So now we're just kind of scraping all these branches back into a pile. Yes, you're in the Central Time Zone, or you're still in Eastern. You're an hour behind. That makes sense. That makes sense. So I got all those scraps in a pile. So now I got to sift back through this and get all the roots. So many different ways to say it. Excuse me. There's a whole stack of goodness right here. You have the heat on in the cab. No, I don't actually. Just the heat from the machine and the door shut is doing just fine. But I see a problem. How is that possible? Wow. 52. I can't believe that this pin, did it break in half? I can't believe it. Wow. I don't know if it's broken half, but something is not right anymore. Yeah, no shit. When did that happen? When did that occur? That must have just happened. That's wild. Where's your sledgehammer? That's right. Hmm. It sure did. It just snapped. That is wild. Dude, we cannot catch a break with this fucking machine. God. I can't believe it. That's so frustrating. Well, it just seems like as soon as I got going, that we're done again. So we got to get that fixed. Well, that was fun. That's gonna be it. Good luck, everybody. Have a great rest of your afternoon, because mine's torched.